Hello, welcome to this video that is all about breathing. And the first step is foundation. What is proper breathing, right? How can we really tune into a very functional and coherent breath so that every breath technique we do moving forward is bookended with this calm, smooth breath, okay? So some things to keep in mind when it comes to functional breathing is that there is a way to breathe that really works with your body and produces the most positive benefits. So ideally, for most of the day, we want to be breathing mostly belly breaths. Okay? We want to be breathing through our nose, in and out. And we want to tap into a rhythm, right? So it's not just the inhale and the exhale, it's when these two come together in balance, a rhythm emerges. And that rhythm is really important. Right? We want to be feeling a rhythm that carries us into a state of calm. So the inhale in general has more sympathetic receptors, which means it's a little bit more activating. You might even notice, as you listen and connect with your breath, that the inhale has more of an energetic quality. We're breathing energy in. You might notice your body lifts, it expands. It's taking in energy, right? And on the exhale, it's a letting go, a release, a grounding, a settling. And what I love about breathing is that, a snapshot in time where you just see one inhale and exhale, that doesn't really give you the full depth of what it is to breathe, because your breath is in motion. It's not just one inhale and exhale. It's how that inhale and exhale impacts the next breath, and how that breath impacts the next breath, right? It is this continual motion of breath gliding, right? And what's really fascinating about the breath is that most of your brain and your body work primarily as prediction systems. If we were actually fully aware of all of the stimulus coming in moment to moment as raw data, it would be overwhelming. It would be exhaustive. So our wise mind and body have created a prediction system where, based on past experience, it actually will formulate beliefs and ideas and actions before all the stimulus has even been received. So why this is important is that your breath gives you a clear window into the current state of your nervous system. And when we really understand the breath and take time every single day to connect with it and guide it into a slower and smoother rhythm, we are retraining and reshaping the nervous system to be more flexible and to access a variety of states without getting stuck. So coherent breathing is speaking to balance. So for the next minute here, if it feels okay, just place one hand on your belly and one hand on your chest. And if that doesn't feel good, you could hover your hands over your body and just feel that slight connection. Or if you want to lay on the ground, you could even put a pillow or a sandbag on your belly to get a little bit of pressure. Otherwise, lay on your back with your hands on your body. So any position that feels comfortable. With your mouth closed, just notice your breath. And see if you can really relax your belly so that on each inhale, you feel your hand on your belly lift. And when it's a deeper breath, near the end of the breath, you'll notice your hand on your chest lifts a little bit as well. And they both relax on your exhale. So just do that for a few rounds. Just notice, maybe it's difficult. Maybe you're noticing strain or tension in your body. Maybe you notice, you enjoy the inhale more than the exhale, or vice versa. Or maybe you'll notice that, you can be with your breath for a round or two and then you get distracted. Just take in anything you notice as data, just information about this moment. Just keep coming back to your breath. And now for a few rounds, we're going to exaggerate the breath a little bit to really wake up the respiratory muscles. So as you inhale, push your belly into your hand. Feel yourself expand. And then exhale, let it all go. So do that for a few rounds. Inviting in these big breaths. So you can feel your volume as you breathe in, feel your belly, your sides, and your back. Expanding like a sphere. And then coming back in. So just a few more. Notice if your shoulders are lifting on your inhale. Often when we inhale, we'll do this like lifting up. See if you can get more of that as an outward motion, really expanding that sphere. So after a couple more of those, really feeling the wakefulness of that movement, just begin to slow it down a little bit. So not quite as big. And then begin to count your breath, the duration of your inhale, and the duration of your exhale. And notice what feels soothing for you. Is it 4 seconds in, 4 seconds out? 5 and 5, 6 and 6. Just a few more. Just continually guide your awareness to your breath. That's the practice. Just keep coming back. Feeling the energy and inspiration of the inhale. The letting go, the surrender of the exhale. So continue breathing like that. Just notice the average number that feels really nourishing for you of inhale and exhale. And whatever that number is for you, that's the number to keep coming back to over this next week. Of slowly, every morning, guiding yourself into that rhythm. And often it does work really well to do something a little bit more strenuous first, which is what we did with that bigger breath. It can be that simple, a few rounds of a bigger breath to then be able to guide yourself into a slower, smooth breath. Or there might be mornings where, you need to put on some music and shake and dance, or a little bit of yoga, or just gentle movement, so that you can then just settle, and be with your breath. So there are more parasympathetic receptors in the belly, which is why a calm, smooth belly breath guides us into deeper states of relaxation. And yet if you are out for a run or doing something a little more strenuous, we need to engage the core a little bit. And then more of the breath is going to be moving through the chest, which has more sympathetic receptors. It brings in more energy. It activates us a little bit. So there's a time and a place for that. That's really wonderful that we have access to these different receptors that bring in different types of energy. Coherence, finding that balance, that rhythm for 3 minutes. Right? 3 minutes is all it takes to actually shift your state. And if you're counting your breath, 3 minutes flies by. So a lot of the science has been showing that a rhythm of 5.5 or 6 seconds for inhale and exhale is like a universal template of what is very calming. So that's something to work towards. But if that doesn't feel nourishing for you at this point, if you find actually like 3 seconds in, 3 seconds out is where you find calm, then stick with that. Enjoy.